Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chairperson of the Higher Education Student Financing Board. The Director, HTVET, who is standing in also for the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education and Sports, Commissioner Higher Education, the Chairman and the members of the loan scheme or the loan board. I want to respect all the protocol as it was laid out by the Executive Director of the board. The media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
I want first of all to welcome all of you to this very important function where the Education Students Financing Board will be releasing the list of the 7th cohort of the approved student loan beneficiaries for the academic year 2020-2021. Thank you very much for coming. I want to begin by congratulating the board and thanking the board for a good job done. Thank you very much, Reverend Father and your team. Of course, the introduction of the student loan scheme has created many opportunities for the less privileged learners to access higher education at both undergraduate and diploma levels. To date, the student loan scheme has awarded loans to a total of 11,154 learners, and over 4,000 have completed their studies and are in the field contributing to national development. We should thank God very much for this. This scheme has supplemented the government interventions at primary and secondary level, where we are seeing increased enrollment due to success of universal primary and secondary education. This translates into higher demand for tertiary education, and I'm happy that the loan scheme is helping government to ensure that many deserving Ugandans can continue with their education. The contribution of the students' loan scheme has greatly increased on the enrollment of scientists through emphasis of the STEM program. I'm aware that in the last 6 years, the board has trained 3,000 health practitioners in the field of medicine, nursing, midwifery, pharmacy, and medical laboratories and others. 2,000 science teachers have been prepared, 3,000 have been prepared in engineering disciplines, and over 800 in agriculture, among many other fields. These are commendable efforts aimed at producing graduates with the relevant skills to spur economic development. Loans are mainly awarded to students pursuing science and technology program, because as a country, you know very well that as a country, we are still faced with the glaring shortage of manpower in science disciplines. This one I don't need to emphasize. To ensure that we increase access to higher education, the government of Uganda has continued to encourage investment in higher learning institutions, and we have registered great milestones in the subsector. There are now over 220 higher education institutions. Currently, there are 43 universities in Uganda. 10 of these are public and 33 private universities. The government continues to establish more public universities to accommodate the increasing demand for higher education. Last year, in 2019-2020 academic year, we registered 105,988 learners in only public universities. That is up from 90,359 in the financial year 2018-19. This increase in number is partly attributed to the students' loan scheme beneficiaries. The government is aware of the increased demand for student loans, and I'm also aware that this year the board received over 5,000 applications. And here the chairman has told us we are going to award loans to only 1,113 students, which represents a success rate of only 20% of the applications received. 617 of these are male, and 496 are females, which is about 44.6%. We as government were very determined to continue increasing this number as envisioned in the Ministry of Education Strategic Plan under the objective of increasing access to education at all levels. We shall continue working with other arms of government, including Parliament, to increase the funding and ensure that more students who are financially disadvantaged gain access to this scheme. I'm very happy to note that the number of successful female applicants has increased by 10.6% from 34% last year to 44.6% this year. I want to thank the board for ensuring gender equity and promoting participation of our girls in sciences, which were previously dominated by boys. And I would like to encourage more girl students to apply for funding under this scheme for two reasons. One, we need many more girls in the science sector. Two, when it comes to paying back, girls have proved to me and to the board that they are the best. They are more disciplined financially. When you look at the numbers of students who have paid back all, first of all, the first student to pay back everything was a girl. Remember Naka Namialo? And when you look at even those who have been able to pay everything, the numbers of girls is much higher. So I think because of the financial discipline of women, I think we should encourage more to apply, and we should also look for more funds to help more girls get on board. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, also to thank the board for taking special consideration for persons with a disability. As you heard from the chairman and director, this year the board offered loans to the highest number of people with disability, totaling to 24 students, where we have 5 females and 19 males. I'm glad that these learners, unlike their colleagues, are also allowed to pursue degrees and diploma in both sciences and humanity programs. I applaud the board for having an inclusive policy. This is very good, Chair, and please continue with it. You must all be aware that a total of 4,000 students have completed their studies. Those of you who have been following the trends, I think slightly over 4,000 have completed and are out in the field, with many of them in gainful employment, and we should be proud of this and celebrate it. The board usually gives a grace period of 1 year, but also encourages early repayment for those who are able. I want to reiterate that these are loans and must be paid back. Why? To create a revolving fund in order for others to benefit. A total of 13 students have fully completed the repayment during the grace period, while over 50 students are repaying on time. As government, we are saying it is possible to repay the loans as demonstrated by the 13 beneficiaries. And please pay. I do acknowledge the positive contribution by the 13 students to the scheme, and I wish to salute them and thank them for repaying back. I'm aware that COVID-19 pandemic continued to disrupt the education sector in ways that many of us were not able to foresee. Through National Council for Higher Education, we issued guidelines and continue encouraging tertiary institutions to explore a means of using online channels for teaching and learning. We must leverage the use of technology to ensure that no student is left behind as a result of the pandemic. As I conclude, allow me to once again thank and applaud the members of the board, management and staff of this board and secretariat for their tireless efforts and that good work done. I want to equally thank all the stakeholders, and here I want to special thanks to government, to Parliament, the Minister of Education, staff, Minister of Finance for the continued support to the board and the ministry at large. And I'm saying, please give us more support. I'm very grateful to the media, of course, for enlightening our people. Wherever you go these days, at least almost everybody is talking about the loan scheme. That is your effort, and I want to thank you and pray that you continue doing that. It's now my singular honor to release the list of the 7th cohort of the successful loan beneficiaries, totaling to 1,113 for the academic year 2020-2021. I congratulate the successful loan beneficiaries and wish them success in their studies. I'm doing all this for God and my country. Director PS. The list is here, but immediately after I put this book down, whoever can access us on the internet, the lists will be there. Congratulations, the beneficiaries. Those who have not succeeded, please try again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome,
Mr. Minister. But before you go, I request you to come and give us a bit in Uganda. And then, no. Uganda first, we shall go back to questions. Nabo Minister, funze mu Uganda. Tukyaliwo.
Mukyaliwo. Olunaku lwa leero ekitongole kyaffe ekivunaanyizibwa kugabira abayizi loans ne gavumenti ne ministry tufulumiza olukalala oba olukangaga lw'abayizi abagenda okuwolebwa gavumenti sente basobole okwongera mu maaso emisomo gyabwe mutendera ogwa diploma n'ogwa degree. Kizaamu nnyo amaanyi era kinsanyusiza nti omulimu gubadde munene gwe bakoze aba board ate naye bagukoze mu budde obutuufu. Ebizibu bya baafuna bingi omwaka nga gutandika olwa COVID-19 basobodde okukola omulimu omulungi, era abaana sinza ku ssente zebadde nazo zetulina mu ggwanika lyaffe, abaana 1,113 be bafunye omukisa w'okuyambibwako loan scheme eno. Bw'olaba engeri gye abaana bano gye balondeddwamu, ndi mumativu tiwabaddewo obwesimbu buyitirivu. Omwana ddala agwanidde, omwana omunaku asinga mu banaku banne yafunye omukisa guno mulundi guno. Kimpadde n'essanyu okulaba nti abaana abawala beeyongedde obungi okufuna mu skimu eno, era abaana abawala njagala okubakubiriza bongere okusaba okuyambibwa loan scheme okulaba nti basoma ne bamalako emisomo gyabwe, naddala mu field ya science ne technology. Uganda werina ebbula ly'abakozi eddene ennyo. Kinsanyudde nnyo okulaba nti abawala beeyongedde, ate kinsanyuza n'okulaba nti abasasudde ssente abaamala emisomo gyabwe ne bazimalayo era abasinga obungi bawala. Ekirala ekisinza okunsanyusa mu kino kwe kulaba nti board efuddeyo nnyo kulaba nti buli kitundu kya Uganda kifuna ku mukisa okulaba nga kifuna mu abayizi abagenda okusoma ku mutendera guno nga bayambibwako loans eziva mu gavumenti. Nsanyuse n'okulaba nti n'abaana abatalina obulemu ku mibiri gyabwe nabo namba yaabwe yeeyongedde okusinga nga luli bwe gwali kati baweredde 24. Ekyo kinyongedde amaanyi era njagala okwebaza okulaba nti tewabaawo muntu atafunamu mu skiimu eno olw'ensonga nti oba alina obulemu oba nedda. Ekinsanyudde era nja kusaba twongere mu maaso n'enkola eyo okulaba nti buli mwana talekebwa bweru. Njagadde okujjukiza abayizi nti abagenda okufuna mu looni zino nti zino ssente si za kuwa kulya buli, era ssente zigenda kuweerezebwa ku yunivasite gyewafuna ekifo, era ssente ezo za kusasula bw'oliba omaze okusoma bakuwaayo piriyodi ya mwezi gumu. Bw'oba ofunye omulimu n'okuggyako mpola mpola okutuuka ssente eziggwayo. Naye njagala okwebaza abasasudde ne bamalayo nga n'obudde bwa piriyodi eri gye bakuwa okuwummulamu tebunaggwayo. Era njagala okukubiriza n'abalala tulabire ku abo tusasule ssente za board za skiimu eno. Mbagaliza mbakulisa abasobodde okuyitamu era mbagaliza okusoma okulungi.
Then we go into for question and answers. Let me first deal with this gentleman. Yes, sir. Please come on. Name and media house.
My name is Edward. I work for NGO. One is about what the chairman read. We have 4 districts that did not send in applications. These are Sudat, Atabut, Karenga, and Yoruba. You know these are districts where education is really difficult. What does it tell for the equal benefit of this scheme? Secondly, we know that this is an end product of education in these lower classes. And we know by the pandemic, the ministry has tried to tell us how to resume and we know that they resumed in the candidate classes. But what is the plan for the other? We've not had the ministry explain to us clearly for the hopes of those who are in lower classes and expect to go out. Is there a plan? And finally, what is the status now of the COVID-19 cases in this country?
Thank you. I'm coming down.
Dr. Martin from what about students who are pursuing humanities? So many of them are taking the education loan scheme discriminatory. How about them? Then the other issue is there are students that should be repaying at the moment who graduated and got employed. But due to the pandemic, some were sacked. They don't have jobs. Is the ministry forgiving them for the time they have not worked? So that maybe if they get a job, they'll be able to start the repayment exercise. Then on the other hand, this is not about education, the loan scheme. It's about the continuing students from the lower classes. They were planned over the reading materials. So should be saying, and the materials have not yet been delivered. Some students are still reading materials of first term, and they should be in second term right now. Is it going to be an automatic promotion for someone to move from P6 to P7, from P1 to P2? Now that it's even getting closer to the reopening for the rest of the classes.
Yes, Damai.
Thank you very much. Damai is my name from Wellington, Kenya. If you notice, last year the ministry awarded scholarships to 1,834 students. And this year we are seeing a reduction in the number. And yet we're supposed to be going forward. So why are we seeing the reduction in the number of beneficiaries this year? We also want to know the total number of students the ministry has sponsored so far since 2014, dates, how many have completed, and how many are paying the loans, and how much have they been, how much have already been refunded from those students.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Lastly, gentleman from
Honorable Minister Paul is my name. Speaking about paying back, why haven't we widened the base or the allocation when you indicate that there are those that are complying in paying back, those who completed? Why is it that we still have limited funds allocated to this program?
Thank you so much, colleagues.
I think that's enough.
Yes, that's enough. Honorable Minister, feel free to invite.
Thank you very, very much for these. These are good questions. But in my ministry, we believe in sharing the eating. I'm in position to answer all. But I want you to hear some voices, especially the very sweet ones from we have the director, we have the commissioner, we have the executive director. I think we begin with the executive director in case you are not satisfied. I'll come back. First of all, executive director, you handle what belongs to you, and then my other colleagues also come in.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister.